No one imagines that a symphony is supposed to improve as it goes along, or that the whole objective is to reach the finale. The point of music is discovered in every moment of playing and listening to it. It is the same, I feel, with the greater part of our lives, and if we are unduly absorbed in improving them, then we may forget altogether to live them. This is a quote by Alan Watts. Alan Watts was a bit like a philosophical wizard, but less on the reliable Gandalf side and more of the Mad Hatter side. If the Mad Hatter was a wizard, you know what I mean. I mean, look at those tea parties. There's definitely magic in there, or at least something that feels like magic in those teapots. Oh, yeah. Alan Watts was throwing out ideas that danced on the edge of sanity, making us question reality while laughing at the absurdity of it, just like kind of a cosmic jester with a PhD in existential humor. I think it takes someone like Alan Watts to make you adopt a new kind of self-reflection, and I don't always know if he was right on everything, but you don't need to be correct to add value. Now, I'm a super small channel, and I've been receiving a lot of incredibly positive comments with serious, immense depth of heart and character, and the same thing has been said for some of the negative comments. People are really thinking about things, and I love to see that. But in all of my discussions about personal and professional growth, finding your passions, being real with who you are, there's a common dissenting opinion that I've seen periodically come up. And in fact, I've seen it on other videos that I've been watching, kind of in the similar sphere that I make videos in. These comments I see on my videos and on other videos are kind of like an enthusiastic disease, where those infected exhibit symptoms such as quoting Andrew Huberman at least twice a day, or having a Pavlovian response to your email notifications. These people, I fear, are infected with toxic productivity. Now, don't get me wrong, a healthy grind mindset is a relentless persistence and determination to achieve a goal, often characterized by like hard work, resilience, and a willingness to endure challenges and setbacks. Doing it wrong, however, just steals time from future you while you recover from stretching yourself too thin. See, there's an effective but short-sighted call to action I see regurgitated by those who have sold their soul to a perverse perseverance pact. Tune out all others. Become a minimalist and disappear. Work yourself to the core. Ignore women, men, friends, family. Leave your home state. Commit to being all of the grind. Then return as a triumphant member of the elite. This is shades of Bruce Wayne or freaking Patrick Bateman. Both of these characters that some of us are modeling ourselves after are facades. They're personas. They are fake faces to hide their true selves to the world. They are not only fictitious, but in their own design stories, they are actually themselves a character played by the men in question. This is a sort of persona inception. Now, would I kill to look like Christian Bale in either of these roles? Heck yeah, I would. But Christian Bale is also a devoted husband. He didn't get to where he is in life by imitating the loner, hyper-efficient characters that he's gifted at portraying. And I still don't forgive him for getting rid of the bat nipples, but nobody is perfect. There's a lot to admire about someone that dedicates themselves completely to a goal. But don't conflate dedication to a goal with an unbalanced fixation on outcomes. When productivity becomes a way to show your own greatness, returning triumphant, attractive, and mighty, it becomes shallow, it becomes destructive. Nobody would actually want to be Batman. So what is healthy productivity? You can push yourself until you hit your limits, but instead of going Super Saiyan out of nowhere and just annihilating your limits, you need to look for room for improvement. This is what I would call sustainable improvement. I think even Jordan Peterson talks about stuff like this, where you reach your limit and then you pull back and to reevaluate your own sustained ability. Maybe you will peak at Goku, or maybe you'll peak at Yamcha, but both paths will take decades to reach. You know the saying, work hard, play hard, but to find balance, you need to realize that the opposite of play isn't hard work, it's agonizing depression. All you'll be left with if you dedicate your soul to toxic productivity without taking time to mess around, play, and figure out things that you enjoy is misery. You don't want to be Elon Musk with 19 children you never see with kids' names like You don't want to be Jeff Bezos, who had to pay $35 billion because he cheated on his wife since he's afraid of his own mortality or something. I know a few attending physicians who adopted the Bruce Bateman persona, we can call it. They've adopted this style of life and they've now hit the peak of their careers. They achieved everything they set out to. They shunned friends, they shunned family, relationships, they left their hometown to build a career of their dreams and ignored the negatives, saying it will get better. But one of them said something that I found that was particularly penetrating, that really made me think. This attending physician, who is now in their late 40s and has been practicing out of residency for a while, they said, you know, I was told it will get better, but it hasn't yet. And now they don't know what to do with their life or what they've built. And I think that's far too common among gifted people. See, don't make the mistake of dedicating yourself to a company or a degree, social status, income, or even a person. Dedicate yourself to your passion in life, your God-given purpose, your loved ones.
The Navy SEALs are one of the highest performing organizations on the planet, and a former Navy SEAL was asked, who makes it through BUDS? Who makes it through the selection process to become a SEAL? He said, some of the guys that make it through are skinny and scrawny. He said, some of the guys who make it through, you will see them shivering out of fear. He said, but every single one of them who makes it through, when they're emotionally exhausted, when they're physically exhausted, some way, somehow, they're able to dig down deep inside themselves to find the energy to help the person next to them. Service. Service. Giving to another, having their back, is what makes the highest performing teams in the world. Not their strength and not their intelligence. It's their willingness to be there for each other.
Degenerate streamers like Asmongold still have loving, invested parents and a comfortable fitting home. I think that's a big reason why he's where he is today. World leaders like John F. Kennedy had, well, other Kennedys. Heck, even Andrew Tate has his brother. I even have my sleep paralysis demon, Jean Paul. Think about what it does to your psychology to have nobody that you can explain how you feel or what you're going through. I don't think we were built to live in isolation. Don't expect others to see you and reinforce your existence. You need to have that internally, but we still need people to share things with, even if we are not leaning on them for our own validation. What happens when you put your life in the hands of someone else? Well, sometimes they will hurt you, but that's just the price of developing friendships that matter. I don't buy the pessimistic view that you can't trust anyone and they will always hurt you, but you know the saying, if you want it done right, do it yourself. I think it makes sense why people do this, because they've been hurt by people and they did real damage, but your life is so much more fulfilling when you go through the journey of life with other people. You only get one opportunity to have people grow with you and go on an adventure with you and build up something that matters. Once you've reached that goal, then you don't have the same closeness. It's like in Lord of the Rings, the beauty of the story is the journey and watching them make it to their goal together. None of them surpassed their own limits by themselves. They multiplied the fellowship, empowered each other, and they acknowledged when moments were too much for them to handle. But the fellowship is inspiring because they are present for one another, and when the burden is too heavy, they help each other carry it. In our heavy burden to produce meaningful things, we should be striving for a fellowship and not a mask while we keep others away.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
Anytime you have a human being who is suffering in some way and they cannot find connection with another human being, they cannot find compassion with another human being, that person is going to feel isolated.
Dedicate yourself more to the process than to the outcome. See, if you don't dedicate yourself to an end goal, but a process of consistent commitment to balance and being a team with those around you, you might realize that those people will start investing back in you if you're investing into them. And a team is always better than an individual. The pursuit of improvement will always demand your soul. But your soul is the reason why you start to have passions to begin with. It's kind of like the line, I don't want to gain the whole world but lose my soul. So if you're feeling the urge to push people away and only focus on your needs, your desires, your plans for the future, I think you should take a step back. Take time to see who would really want to be on your team, and maybe you should try being on someone else's team and help them figure out how to achieve their goals. Be willing to say, hey, I've reached my limit and I need to pull back. Go play with your niece and nephew. Go play with a dog. Go get a dog. If you burn the candle at both ends, then I guess the candle burns out faster. If you're struggling to be motivated and actually start being productive, then I've got a video here, or here, I don't really know where, that it talks about stuff like that. But I don't know, subscribe, comment. I think you're cool as frick. Bye.